What if the fastest thing for that stinging bug bite, that burning patch of sun-hit skin, or those cracked hands from a day in the yard is the very plant you keep ripping out and throwing away? You spend $20, $40, sometimes $60 on creams and gels that promise relief, only to use them up, buy them again, and stay stuck in the same cycle, while the real answer keeps growing back for free beside your fence, under your fruit trees, and along the path you walk every day. You have probably mowed over relief, composted relief, and called relief a weed. Not after today. By the end of this, you will know 10 backyard first aid plants that can help skin feel better fast, and many of them come back year after year with almost no effort from you. You will know which ones cool, which ones soothe, which ones turn into simple home remedies, and which ones you can plant once and keep harvesting for the rest of your life. This is not just about comfort. This is food security thinking for your home remedies, so you depend less on stores, less on corporations, and more on what you can grow forever. A few of these are going to shock you. Number 7 looks too pretty to be that useful. Number 3 is one most people already have and never think twice about. And number 1 is the final reveal that completely changes how you see the weeds in your own yard. Stay with me, you will not want to miss number 1. Number 10. Comfrey. This is the backyard powerhouse that does not just sit there looking useful, it earns its space every single season. You recognize Comfrey by its broad, rough leaves, deep roots, and explosive regrowth, and once it settles in, it comes back like it has a job to do. In zones 4 through 9, it gives you armloads of leaves while also mining minerals from deep in the soil and feeding the whole garden around it. For skin comfort, Comfrey has been valued for generations in traditional external salves and poultices because the leaves feel rich, moist, and substantial when prepared properly. When your skin feels overworked, rough, or irritated from sun and wind, this is one of those old-school plants that helps everything feel calmer and less raw. Fast. Number 9. Self-heal. This little purple-flowered lawn plant is one of the easiest things to overlook and one of the smartest things to keep. You may have mowed over it for years without realizing it was building a soft living carpet under your feet. In zones 4 through 9, self-heal spreads low, handles foot traffic, and turns ordinary lawn space into something useful instead of just decorative. For skin, self-heal has a long history in herbal traditions because it is associated with calming and comforting irritated areas. When you want a backyard plant that helps skin feel less angry and more settled, this one matters because it works while also covering soil and supporting pollinators. That is what a real closed-loop system looks like. Number 8. Mullein. This plant feels soft before you even know what it is, and that should tell you something. You can spot mullein by its fuzzy gray-green rosette in the first year and its tall candle-like flower spike in the second, often reaching 5 to 7 feet in neglected ground. In zones 3 through 9, it thrives where other plants struggle, which makes it perfect for a low-input homestead. For skin comfort, mullein has long been used in traditional preparations for dry, bothered, wind-beaten skin because those soft leaves suggest exactly the kind of comfort they bring. When your skin feels parched, scratchy, or irritated from outdoor work, mullein is one of those plants that helps everything feel softer and less harsh. And wait, what comes next will completely change how you think about the wild, messy corners of your yard. Number 7. Calendula. These cheerful orange and yellow flowers quietly make some of the most beloved skin oils in the gardening world. You may think calendula is just another pretty bloom, but those petals carry a sticky resin that old herbal gardeners prized for a reason. In zones 2 through 11, it grows easily, reseeds generously, and starts to feel permanent once you welcome it into the garden. For skin, calendula is famous because it feels gentle, soothing, and comforting on rough hands, dry patches, and everyday irritation. When you turn those petals into a simple infused oil or salve, you get the kind of rich, calming plant support that makes store-bought products suddenly look expensive and underwhelming. Number 6. Purslane. This crunchy little weed is one of the most overlooked skin support plants you can grow. You know it by the reddish stems and fat, glossy leaves, and once you notice it, you start seeing it in raised beds, gravel, and tomato rows everywhere. In zones 5 through 10, it reseeds with wild enthusiasm, which means most gardeners keep fighting abundance while you can start using it. That juicy, succulent texture matters, because plants that hold water often feel cooling and refreshing when used fresh. When your skin feels hot, tight, or sun-bothered, Purslane is one of those backyard surprises that helps everything feel cooler and more comfortable, fast. This is exactly the kind of plant modern gardeners ignore and smart homesteaders keep. Number 5. Jewelweed. This is the swampy little secret old country people never forgot. If you have damp shade, a ditch, a creek edge, or a soggy low corner in zones 3 through 9, jewelweed often appears almost effortlessly. The stems snap like watery celery, and that tells you exactly what kind of plant this is: moist, cooling, and quick to release its juice. For skin comfort, jewelweed has a long reputation in backyard traditions because it is often reached for when skin feels itchy, reactive, or bothered after contact with irritating plants or summer pests. When you want fast, cooling comfort from a plant that practically grows itself in the right spot, this one earns its place. Quick pause: if this is already changing how you see your garden, go ahead and subscribe. I release content like this every single day, and you deserve a backyard that feeds you, helps you, and saves you money forever. Number 4. Yarrow. This tough feathery plant carries the kind of history you cannot fake. You may know yarrow from the legend of Achilles, and Roman soldiers reportedly carried it on long campaigns for a reason. Plants do not stay in human use for thousands of years unless they truly earn their place. In zones 3 through 9, yarrow laughs at poor soil, shrugs off drought, and keeps showing up when fussier plants quit. For skin, yarrow has been respected in traditional first aid for a very long time because it is associated with helping stressed, overworked skin feel more supported. When you spend long days outside and want a hardy plant that belongs in a serious self-sufficiency plan, this one is non-negotiable. Number 3. Chickweed. This is one most people already have, and most people have no idea how useful it really is. You see tiny leaves and little white star flowers, but chickweed is a cool season carpet that stays tender and juicy when other plants get bitter and tough. It thrives in spring and fall in zones 4 through 9, and if you let even a little go to seed, it usually returns with almost no effort from you. Chickweed matters for skin because it has that naturally cool, fresh feel that makes it perfect when your skin feels hot, itchy, or irritated. This is one of those plants that seems humble until you actually use it, and then you understand why old-school gardeners kept it close instead of pulling it out. And stay with me because what comes next proves a real food security plan is not just about calories. It is about comfort, resilience, and building a yard that works for you in layers. Number 2. Aloe Vera. One thick aloe leaf can replace more store-bought gel than most people realize. You already know that slick cooling feels people reach for after too much sun, dry air, or irritated skin, and aloe gives you that straight from a living plant with no fragrance and no mystery ingredient label. In zones 9 through 11, you can grow it outside, and almost anywhere else you can keep it in a pot on a windowsill like a living emergency jar. For skin, aloe helps fast because the clear inner gel feels instantly cooling, moistening, and calming the moment it touches hot or tight skin. Most people keep buying plastic bottles of relief, while you can grow one plant once and keep using it again and again for years. Number 1. Plantain. This is the final reveal, and once you understand it, you will never look at a backyard weed the same way again. You have probably walked on plantain thousands of times without realizing those ribbed leaves have been a go-to in old-school backyard first aid for bug bites, itchy spots, and everyday skin irritation. It pushes through compacted paths, gravel edges, and abused soil where delicate herbs fail, which is exactly why it matters so much in a real-world garden. Plantain helps skin feel better fast because the fresh leaf has that cool, moist, grounding quality that seems to take the edge off almost immediately. When your skin feels angry after an insect bite or rubbed raw from outdoor work, this is the plant that makes you realize the best relief was under your feet the whole time. Most gardeners spray it, curse it, and kill it, while you can turn it into one of the most useful plants on your property. When you combine these 10 plants, you are not just collecting random remedies, you are building a closed-loop system. Together, they cover dry beds, damp corners, pots by the porch, wild edges, sunny borders, and even the lawn most people keep fighting. This is not just a list This is a strategy. Start with just 3 of these. Pick the ones that match your climate zone, your yard, and the conditions you already have. Plant them this season, protect a few from the mower, and come back in 6 months. I promise your garden will never look the same because these are not just plants. They are investments in freedom, a legacy of usefulness, and the kind of backyard abundance that can serve you forever. Which of these are you planting first, and which one are you going to stop calling a weed? Drop it in the comments, because I read every single one. If you want the next part of this series, the best perennial plants you can grow once and harvest forever, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss it. You are not just growing a garden. You are becoming the kind of smart, self-sufficient gardener who sees value where everyone else sees weeds.